Hello everyone, before we get started for this video, as mentioned in a lot of other predictions, I do need to say that the Gold Coast and Essendon Bombers game has yet to be played in the making of this video. Now, as I've said before, majority of the time, these games will not reflect my predictions, and the same will go here. My predictions will stay the same throughout the entire course of the video, no matter what the result is in this game. But I do think this game will be very interesting. I will definitely be watching it, and stay tuned for my results video where I talk about it. Thank you guys, I'll see you soon. Every round means more than the last. Every round is more significant than the previous. We've got yet another AFL round predictions video. They're coming almost twice a week now because the AFL has been non-stop every day, all the action. It's been beautiful sometimes, man. Some magical things that are happening with this AFL season. It is very close to becoming towards the end of the season now. We've still got a few games left, but every game is important, and the top 8 is still very undecisive. So let's see exactly who I think will win in this round predictions video. Let's do it. What's up everybody, it's the Aidan Sports Show. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be an AFL round 12 match predictions video where we go through all of the teams that are going to be playing in round 12 and give my honest and true match predictions for each and every single game. Now, before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Thank you guys so much for the 90 subscriber goal that we have reached today. So now it's time for the big triple digits. Let's see if we can get there. I'm not going to set a date or time on it. I just want it to happen naturally with all the people supporting me over the year. It's been incredible. We reached this goal very quickly as well. If I do have to say so myself. So only time's going to tell how quickly we get to this one. But I'm very, very thankful. But nevertheless, enough about that. We're going to get into the round 12 predictions here. We're going to go straight off the bat because I think I've said every introduction under the book, and I really can't think of one at the moment. So the first game that I'm going to talk about is the two teams that had a bye in this season. It was going to be Sydney and GWS. Now this game, it's very straightforward for me. Now Sydney's a team that I believe they have done relatively decent despite in losing efforts over previous weeks. But you have to go with the Giants. You have to go with the Giants. They're clearly the better team. Sydney are not a great team at all. A lot of people predicted them to be second last, and that's still probably where they're going to finish. But maybe beyond Fremantle, who knows? But there's still so many things that we don't know about Sydney yet. And it's coming towards the end of the season. All we know is that they're not a decent team, but we don't know exactly how far away they are from being a good team or not. They're very undecisive, Sydney. Just like most of the teams in the AFL, they are also one of them, are really unpredictable. But the Giants are clear favourites, and I don't see any other outcome happening in this game. So we're just going to have to see how that goes as well. It's going to be very, very interesting. Now, going into the next one. This one, I might surprise a few people with this one. Geelong versus Port Adelaide. Now, this is at the Metricon Stadium. Port Adelaide, every single week, the people start to doubt them. Even till now at round 12, they are proving more and more that they are the real deal. They are capable of doing very, very good things in this season. They're still probably going to finish first, it looks like. Maybe second. Definitely in the top 4. But Geelong have been absolutely sensational. And last week they were insane. They beat St Kilda very comfortably, and I mean comfortably. So that's a tough one. Do I pick Port Adelaide? You know what? I feel a little bit risky this week. I really do. I feel risky. I'm going to pick Geelong. I am going to pick Geelong. Look, Port Adelaide are probably going to win this game. The betting odds are in their favour. They're the favourites. But just after seeing what Geelong did, I might have to follow the hype wagon of Geelong at the moment and pick them. Look, it's no easy feat beating St Kilda, and I think St Kilda have been in red hot form, and Geelong beat them very comfortably. So that makes Geelong in good form as well. They've had previous games. I think their last loss was to West Coast. Good team in West Coast. So yeah, look, in the end, that's a game that I'll be talking about left, right. Like, I don't really know who to go for, but look, if this is the version of the video that's coming out, then you know who I'm going to pick. I'm picking Geelong. Going into the next game of this round, North Melbourne versus Brisbane. Now, Brisbane had an unfortunate injury to one of their star players. It's not ideal, especially towards this coming time of the season. I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but even if they don't have their best players playing, I do see Brisbane comfortably winning this one. I'm going to pick Brisbane. Look, Brisbane are a team that are still the best team in the AFL, in my opinion. I really, really believe it with all my heart that Brisbane are the best team in the AFL. Maybe they'll prove me otherwise wrong in the finals, or if they don't finish where they should finish. But they are definitely more than capable to beat North Melbourne. North Melbourne is a team that, honestly, they don't show up to games. They really don't. Now, I'm only going based on the Melbourne game last week. They just don't show up to games. Now, I don't know if that's because of lack of quality, or I don't know what it is, but they're very disappointing team to watch sometimes, because you expect fight and sometimes they don't bring it to you guys. So that's what I have to say about North Melbourne. Brisbane, surely comfortable victory in my opinion. Next game, this is probably the biggest game of the round. Melbourne versus Collingwood. Two very, very, very inconsistent teams, up and down teams. Both of these teams are rivals to each other. I don't think any Melbourne fan likes Collingwood, and I don't think any Collingwood fan likes Melbourne. I'm obviously wearing a Melbourne jumper, so you know which side I'm backing in terms of my favourite team. Melbourne is clearly my team. But do I think they're going to beat Collingwood? To be honest, I do think we're going to beat Collingwood. I'm going to pick Melbourne. I do. Look, we've had tremendous form in the past two games. Granted that those two games are against Adelaide and North Melbourne, two of the worst teams in the AFL, and we beat them both well beyond 50 points. However, Collingwood have not been in great form themselves, where they beat Adelaide, not by much, and they beat Sydney, not by much. Then they lost to Fremantle, who is yet another team that is also fighting for bottom of the ladder. Look, Collingwood, in my opinion, if you put both teams together, you put Collingwood together at their full force, you put Melbourne together at their full force, which is basically what they already are, Collingwood are the better team. I'm not going to say that Collingwood are not a better team than us, but what I am going to say is, based on relative form, based on how well we've been performing, how well they've been performing, based on the ladder positions, I believe we are one spot behind them. They are in 8th spot, we are in 9th spot. I don't see why we can't go and win this game, because their form, their injuries, there's a lot of things going around Collingwood. Even now, there's racist remarks towards Collingwood players now, which is absolutely unacceptable. I do have to say that. It's absolutely unacceptable. But that's just another added situation for Collingwood that they don't need to be dealing with at the moment. I think this has been a drama-filled season for Collingwood. So I see us going to win this game. I do see us as the favourites. If you're looking at the betting odds, we are not the favourites. Collingwood are well and truly the favourites to win. I don't know. Look, I am going to pick and I am going to back my own team. I do think Collingwood have not performed great. And if there is any time for an upset, this would be the time. But would it even be an upset if we did win? That's the question. That is the question. I don't know. Look, I'm not going to say this is a foregone conclusion. I'm not going to say Melbourne are going to thrash them. I'm not going to say that Collingwood are going to thrash us. I don't know. That's the beauty sometimes of these predictions. Some of these games, you just don't know who's going to win. You don't know. Everybody is thinking Collingwood's going to win, but if you look at their recent form, they don't look like the favourites. They don't look like a team that's going to win every game. When you look at Melbourne, after the shocking performance against Port, we've come out and smashed two teams that are not on the same level of us. We're both in very similar situations, so we're going to have to see how that one turns out, but you can trust me when I say I do believe and I am confident in my team. Last time I said that, we got thrashed, so hopefully that doesn't happen twice in a row. Next up, we've got Fremantle and Carlton. This one is fairly simple for me. Carlton brought their absolute best to West Coast last week, or whenever their game was played in the last round. They were winning for majority of the game. The West Coast in the second half kicked things into gear and eliminated this young fighting Carlton side. This Carlton side is impressing me every single week. Every single week I get more impressed by this Carlton team. They have definitely turned a new leaf. I know the losses, and they probably won't make the 8, whatever you want to talk about when it comes to Carlton. They have very winnable games coming up, and Fremantle is definitely one of those winnable games, and I am going to back Carlton. Now, Fremantle have been in great form themselves. They beat Hawthorn last week, which also is a team that Hawthorn beat Carlton, so you could give that to Fremantle as well. But not only that, they beat Collingwood. So they are in good form. You have to say that this is, again, another game that's not a foregone conclusion. But after what I saw from Carlton, if you're looking at based on effort and young legs, the difference with Hawthorn and Fremantle, it was young versus experienced. And the youth of Fremantle is what got them that win. But if you're looking at youth versus youth, Carlton have the better youth. Carlton have the better team. Carlton have even the experience as well. I don't see how Carlton lose this game. But if they do, I'm not going to be shocked. I'm just not. Because Fremantle have been in great form. And they deserve a victory if they get it. It's as simple as that. But I am going to back Carlton. Next up, Western Bulldogs and the Adelaide Crows. The pride of South Australia has yet to get a victory, and this game will not be it for them. I am going to pick the Western Bulldogs. Look, you can say whatever you like about Adelaide. They did perform decently against Collingwood. Collingwood weren't at their best either. They nearly, I wouldn't say they nearly got it, but they made the scoreline respectable at least. Bulldogs, I think Bulldogs are very, very, they're waiting for that win. They're waiting for a win, and this is their perfect opportunity to get a win. I think for Bulldogs, they are a good team. They've had a very tough go of it as of late. They've had injuries. Their defense and their percentage is woeful for a team that's that high up. They need this victory, and I think they need to smash this team, to be honest. If they're going to have any sort of percentage increase, they need to smash Adelaide. Are they going to smash Adelaide? Look, that's very hard to predict. I do see Western Bulldogs being a much better team than Adelaide, and there could be a chance where Adelaide gets smashed here. If you're looking at the betting odds, Adelaide don't stand a chance. So I am going to pick the Western Bulldogs. That's a fairly comfortable one, to be honest. Next up, and this game is not so comfortable, St Kilda versus Essendon. Now, I should mention at the time of this recording, the Essendon and Gold Coast game has not been played. So there is something to take into consideration upon making your decision on this game. This one is tough because Essendon have performed well against the Giants. I don't know how they're going to perform against Gold Coast, but again, I don't have the time or the capabilities to go watch that game and then make this video. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to pick St Kilda just based on the fact that St Kilda, look, they got smashed by Geelong. I don't think Geelong's a better team than the Saints. But I do think St Kilda are very, very comfortable favourites against Essendon. Essendon is a team that I think their season is in danger. They do have a game in hand against a lot of the teams, all the teams except for Melbourne in the AFL. So they have the capabilities to lose a game here and there. But I do think St Kilda are a better team. All around, I do think St Kilda are a better team than Essendon. And they probably should win this game. And I think it's going to be massively disappointing if they lose 2 consecutive games by teams that they're better than, to be honest. St Kilda was second a few weeks ago. And now they're still relatively up there. But if they lose to Essendon as well, that high praise that we've all given them from beating Port Adelaide and beating all these teams, smashing teams, it's going to go away. So they have to beat Essendon, in my opinion. They are the most hyped team in the AFL. I'll say it every week. This is where the hype comes into play. Are they what they say they are? I think they are. I think they're going to comfortably beat Essendon. And that's what I'm going to go with. We've got 2 more games to go. West Coast Eagles versus Hawthorn. No competition here. West Coast all day. Look, I don't really know what else to say, man. It is West Coast game. Hawthorn. Look, Hawthorn, I don't know what to say. They're just not the favourites, are they? I feel sorry for Hawthorn fans. I feel sorry for Hawthorn supporters that thought that they were going to have a good season this season. It just hasn't turned out that way, has it? Hawthorn have a good team on paper, but again, paper, experience, they don't have the legs anymore. I can say a lot about Hawthorn, but I'm not going to, because I do rate Hawthorn as a team, but they are definitely underperforming, and now they're versing a team in West Coast that's probably the best informed team at the moment. I don't think that there's any chance of them winning. I could be wrong. They could end up losing to Fremantle and beating West Coast. That'd be an incredible feat. That would be definitely a show of AFL's unpredictability if Hawthorn did go and beat West Coast. But I just don't think it's going to happen. Last and not least, Richmond versus Gold Coast. I'm done with not picking Richmond. I'm picking Richmond in this game. Straight up, straight and simple. Now, Gold Coast could have a great game against Essendon. Again, I have not watched that game. But every single time, I feel like Richmond are not on the level, not up to par, not up to the way of the game today. Can't score goals, can't do anything. I have been proven wrong every single week. Out of all the games, and I'm pretty sure if you look back, you'll see, majority of the times, I get 1 or 2 losses in my predictions. This one, at least one of them is always the Richmond game, so I'd never go with them. I'd never go with them. So I swear, if I pick them and Gold Coast win, I don't know what to say. But I'm going to pick the Richmond Tigers, man. I am going to pick them. They deserve my picking, man. And I think they've well and truly earned it. I'm sure if any Richmond players or supporters are watching this, they'll be very delighted to know that I finally picked their team. I don't have anything against Richmond. I feel like a lot of people might think I do because of the way I talk about them. I've been massively disappointed at their season so far, but I have always known that Richmond will come together towards the end of the season. They've done it for the past 3 years. But still, that doesn't give me the right to not be disappointed if their team doesn't perform at the start. You expect their team to perform, no matter where it is at any time. And they've been performing as of late, so I'm going to have to back them, man. They've got my respect. They've already had my respect, but now they've gotten my ability to pick them. And Gold Coast is definitely a side that they can beat. Gold Coast is a good team as well. I do see this being one of the closer games. It is a game I'm probably going to watch. But in the meantime, I am going to back the Richmond Tigers. So that is going to be the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. The goal is 100 subscribers. We are almost there, man. Only 10 away. It's a big goal, man. And it's going to be a very, very, very big goal for me, especially because I never thought I would be able to do it. I know a lot of people are, millions and thousands and whatever. In the end, I'm taking this one step at a time, and every goal means just as much. So a 100 is going to mean a lot to me. So it's going to mean just as much as someone getting 1 million. That's just the way that I see it, just because that's where the level I am at the moment. That's the level I am, and I have to be very grateful for where I am. Have a wonderful day, guys. I'll see you in another video. AFL results video will probably come out before this one, just in case, but I am recording this one before that. So have a wonderful day. Take care and peace.